welcome to the build-up from RamsTV. This is the show that gives you everything you need to know before the big game kicks off. Today, Derby County are back on the road. The Rams looking for their first away points of the campaign. They're visiting one of the promotion favourites in Sheffield United. They're the first of the three relegated sides that Derby will have faced this season, and the Blades have made a strong start to life back in the Championship. Like Derby, they have 9 points from their opening 5 games, but that stat is a little misleading. United were given a 2-point penalty after financial issues in previous seasons. They're actually unbeaten with 3 wins and 2 draws so far, and they've kept clean sheets in their last 2 wins over Watford and Hull last Friday. That means both sides are looking to make it 3 wins in a row after Derby's wins over Bristol City and Cardiff last time out. The Rams have lost their opening 2 away games back in the Championship, and they'll have to make at least one change today with David Ozo unavailable. Ben Osborn could well be the man who replaces him in the Derby midfield. He left United to rejoin his boyhood club this summer. I'm sure he'll get a great reception after 5 years of service to the Blades. He played in plenty of United wins over Derby. In fact, the Rams haven't won at Bramall Lane for over 13 years. Theo Robinson got the winner on that occasion back in February 2011. The home side going for a 5th consecutive home win over Derby today. And Ben Osborn isn't the only former Blade in this Derby side. Nathaniel Mendez-Laing has represented both sides of the Steel City. Yeah, look, big footballing city, big rivalry. I never actually got to play in the Derby, I don't think. But funnily enough, I was only reminded yesterday by Ozzy. He asked, like, would I get booed? And I was like, for what? And then he's like Wednesday, and I was like, oh, of course, yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, look, 2 big clubs is a great city for football. Did you ask Ozzy what reaction he thinks he's going to get? I didn't, I'm sure he will get a good standing ovation. He was at the club for a long time, had some good promotions with the club, so I should expect so. United unbeaten so far this season, came down from the Premier League. I think they've been in the Premier League 3 of the past 5 seasons, something like that. What do you make of the start they've made? Yeah, look, they've had a great start. Probably expected as well. Like you say, look, they've yo-yoed from the Premier League to the Championship for the past few years, and look, they've got a great team, some great players, and come the end of the season, I'm sure they'll be there or thereabouts. Swinging things back to Derby and to you, how pleased and how proud have you been with the start that Derby have made to this season back in the Championship? Yeah, pleased. Not for one second did I doubt what we could achieve this season, and I think a lot of people kind of wrote us off early doors, especially after the Blackburn game. But I know what we've got in there. Football out of it. We've got a lot of passion and desire. So I'm really pleased with the start, and we're picking up some momentum. Hopefully it continues. You're one of the leaders in the group, and part of the job is helping the new faces settle in. And I mean, when you look at Caden, Kenzo, Jakob, Ozzy, everybody really, it looks as though everybody has settled in very well. Yeah, like I just said there, look, we've got a great dressing room in there. The lads have settled in really well. We all get on. On and off the pitch. So, like you go in there now, you'll see like the new lads playing pool, table tennis, a bit of darts. I think like a few of them have gone for dinner outside of the club and stuff. So yeah, look, we're building that togetherness within the team. See the family fun day as well the other day, it was good for everybody. And I think it's showing with our performances on the field as well. Tell me a bit more about that process, in so much as how proactive are you with helping everybody get used to the place? I mean, are you organising events, activities, or are you letting things just play out however? No, look, I think when I notice a new signing, I'll always give them a message like online or something before I've got the number. If you need anything, just to give me a shout. Anything I can help you or your family with. And it kind of goes from there, whether that be going for some food just with our partners to kind of help somebody settle in, or obviously the family day. Spoke to the gaffer about it. I remember we'd done it a couple of years ago, and it kind of went down really well with with the family. So that was something I really pushed for to happen again this season.
You've played a big part in 3 wins that Derby have had so far. A couple of assists in the bag already as well. One thing missing. Can you remember your last championship goal by any chance? I can tell you, March 2021 for Middlesbrough against Stoke.
Against Stoke, little dink over the keeper. Chesney was playing that game actually. yeah, it seems like a long time ago.
How keen are you to get off the mark?
Yeah, I am. Like I always want goals and assists, obviously, but I think for me, like I've said many times, look, if we're winning games, you know, I know football has become a lot about stats, but if we're winning games and I can help the team to do that, then look, I'd take scoring no goals all season if we was to, you know, finish in the playoffs. So, yeah.
And you are listed as a striker now by EA Sports.
I know, yeah. I don't know how that's happened, but we take it. My son's buzzing with it, so.
That is Nathaniel Mendez-Laing. Only 2 players in the top 4 tiers of English football have recorded more assists than him since the start of last season. Moving on, later you'll hear from Sheffield United boss Chris Wilder. But let's hear from Derby head coach Paul Warne, who's celebrating a weekend of milestones. His 400th game in management today, and tomorrow marks 2 years since he took over at Derby County. The Rams boss will have some decisions to make about his side today. David Ozo unavailable after limping off against Cardiff last weekend.
Yeah, he's obviously injured. He's going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks.
Is that better than you thought, or thought it might be?
Yeah, it's a strange thing when you see a player get injured, especially at the time of the game. It was strange. And because his movement was quite innocuous, we watched it back straight away on the side of the pitch thinking it doesn't look too bad, but you always hope that he's overreacted and it's only like a very small grade 1 and he'll be out for 10 days. He's definitely out. When someone comes off in the 50th minute, if they come back the following week, then they're a bit of a cowboy. So you think they're definitely out, but then it's about the severity, and then he was in a bit of pain, so then you're thinking, well, could he have done, like, ripped it off the bone and been out for months? So I think 5 to 6 weeks, worst case, is pretty good for us. And with an international break, it's probably only 4, maybe 5 games. And but injuries happen all the time. I'm not going to, weep about it, moan about it. It's next man up. Like, let's see what's happening. But it's disappointing for him because he was playing really well. But that is the nature of the game, unfortunately. I
think we were waiting for updates on Tom Barkhuizen and Liam Thompson as well. How are they doing?
Tomo is 3 to 4 weeks. Tom Barkhuizen is a little bit less, but his is a bit innocuous. I won't give you the boring detail, but it could be only another 10 days. It could be 3 weeks, depending on how his body repairs, but it's just an awkward part of his calf and soleus. So hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully both of them, well, Tom will probably be back before the international break.
You visit Sheffield United on Saturday. They've come down from the Premier League and beaten through their opening 5 games. How impressed have you been with them, and maybe the way that they've avoided the hangover?
Yeah, really good. Like, when you go down, obviously everything's down in the dumps, obviously. But then I think when the actual season ends, I think it was a relief for them because it was a long, very long, tough season. I think, if you'd asked them could they have finished it in Feb, I think they would have. It just felt like, let's just put us out of our misery. But then as soon as the season finishes and the dawn of the new pre-season and the window opens and you're able to manoeuvre things and move things and let some people go and do the signings that they've made. They've made brilliant signings. The left back, the goalkeeper, the centre forward, the 10. These are like phenomenal players. And it doesn't surprise me that they're doing so well. Like, I love Nilly and Chris, really good people, like, done excellent throughout their career. And when they left Northampton to go to Sheffield U, I mean, I played with Nilly, so I know him really well. But they had, unbridled success, really. And the fact that they've gone back and started the season so well, doesn't surprise any of us in our coach's office. That is no shock. They've got a really good team, but they're really well coached. So, you have to have them both really to have success. And, that they'll no doubt have a successful season, but they're the games that we want to play in.
To finish on you, your team was so good away from home last season, record-breaking, in fact. How keen are you to get that first championship point on your travels?
Yeah, obviously we are. I mean, whether we were good away last year or not, that's past now. That's history. I always like to look forward, but this is a game that I would love to play in. I did play in. Well, not for Derby, obviously, but I did play at Bramall Lane a few times. But it's an amazing atmosphere to the place. I can't help but sing the Chip Butty song because it's sort of where I live in it. So it's a game that we want to perform. I thought we performed well at Watford. I didn't think we performed well enough in the entirety at Blackburn, but it's another good test. It's another good test to see where we're at, and we want to come away with something. That goes without saying. So we'll have to be at our very best for every minute of the game, but I've got a lot of trust in this group, and it should be a good game. I know we're taking a good following, so good day out, isn't it?
Derby boss Paul Warne there. The Championship weekend kicked off last night with Hull getting their first win of the season, and first under new manager Tim Walter. Today's lunchtime games include Sunderland against Middlesbrough. Two teams have both started well. At 3, Liam Manning faces his former club as Bristol City host Oxford, and early leaders West Brom welcome Plymouth. The Baggies have won 4 out of 5 to start this new season. Blackburn and Sheffield United, the only other unbeaten teams left. Oxford, another side to make a very encouraging start following promotion. Cardiff and Portsmouth, the only teams without a win after 5 games of the season. And now we've heard from Paul Warne ahead of his 400th match as a manager today. His opposite number, Chris Wilder, the Sheffield United manager, has over 1,000 on his CV.
Incredible amount of respect for Paul and his coaching staff. Known them a long time. Listening to his interview yesterday, and he talked about it being his 400th game. I've got to say, I love his personality. He's a breath of fresh air. He's not stereotyped, and just say the same things game in, game out. He's been very successful in his career, so he'll understand what Bramall Lane's like. He'll understand that the challenge that we pose, but we understand as well within our group that they're on a good run. They're a team that got promoted. I think we all know and understand how difficult it is to get out of League One, having been there for 6 years. His first year, playoffs, I think, or just missed the playoffs, then just missed on the last day of the season. And then to gain automatic promotion when the pressure's really on, because it's a huge club, an absolute giant of a club in that division, as we know from our situation, and everybody's up for the challenge when you play Derby County. So to get over the line, to gain promotion, and to kick off in the style that they are, Paul deserves it, and his coaching staff deserve an enormous amount of credit. And this is going to be one tough afternoon for us.
Yes. So rolling all those things together, what are you expecting? Because along the way with the victories they've also had clean sheets. So there's a toughness about them right now.
Well, there is, yeah, through Paul and his staff, and they've got some experienced boys in there as well. So I think there's been a change in sort of approach. First game, very, very possession based. I think they had 65% possession against Blackburn and didn't get the result that they wanted and changed their outlook. So we're going to have to be really patient. I think their average possession over the last 4 games has been 35 to 40. So I don't see that changing as well. That is never going to be a criticism or a negativity, because the bottom line is they've won 3 out of the last 4 games. And they've got the results that they wanted to get. So I think it's really smart in terms of what Paul's done, recognised, quickly changed, and they're going to give the ball up, but incredibly dangerous on the counter. Work extremely hard for each other, a team, as Paul always produces. A good environment as well for the players to flourish, and a together group. So backed by a sellout away following. So we've got to be at our best to get a result, and and the players understand that, and certainly, and myself, Alan, the coaching staff understand that.
Ben Osborn, a player that you obviously brought into the football club, should get a good reception, you imagine?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Outstanding lad as well, as a really good player. It was, I think people forget, you know, when that sort of Premier League, it was a complete rebuild. You know, when people talk about the players that we brought in, and sometimes, you know, oh, why did we bring him in and he wasn't worth that, or we wasn't worth this. We wasted the money on that. It was a complete rebuild of the squad. And Ben was part of that, along with a few others as well. So, played his part. We had to build a squad. We had to put competition in there. And Ben's obviously had a really good career. We took him from Forest with Jack Robinson, and he become part of our first team squad, and him being involved in 3 seasons out of 6 in the Premier League, you know, promotion, FA Cup semi-final, and just the way he went about his business off the pitch. Really good guy to work with, and on it gave everything. And you know, that's what you ask from every one of the players that you sign. Give everything, and you've got yourself a chance of people getting behind you. So he'll get the reception he deserves at 2:59, and then we're down to business.
That's Blades boss Chris Wilder, and this has been the build-up. You can watch Sheffield United against Derby County live from Bramall Lane this afternoon on RamsTV. It's available outside the UK, so get your Game Pass now at dcfc.co.uk. And just one final thing before we go. Today there will be tributes to the former Sheffield United women's player and Derby fan Maddie Cusack to mark the first anniversary of her passing. If you're going to the game, please make sure you're in your seat before kick-off and be ready for the applause in the 8th minute. Goodbye for now.